Here we are again. It is Monday night, and Monday night is when I record Anabolic Academy. And you can only find Anabolic Academy on this YouTube channel, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. So, if you don't know what Anabolic Academy is, this is part of my channel where you send me questions about bodybuilding, fitness, or any question you'd like, and I answer them on this channel. Where can you reach me to send me questions? Instagram, Serious and Silliness. Facebook, John Livia. TikTok, John Livia. Email me, UncleJohn1201 at Gmail, or my other email, John_Livia at Yahoo. I say that every week. All right. Now, we got, how many questions do we have today? Today is a special week because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions, but all 5 questions are from Fran is the man. If it wasn't from Fran, if it wasn't for Fran is the man, I don't think I would have an Anabolic Academy. So thank you, Fran. I'd be sitting here making up fucking questions like, oh shit, what can I talk about? But we can just jump right in because there's some actually really good questions. So the first question is about me. If you, meaning me, your host, John Livia at Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get all this great content. And yes, I drank a pre-workout for the gym today, and it is still in my system, as you can see. All right. If you were a competitive athlete, which sport do you have the best chance at making the Olympics? Okay. I was never an athlete in school. I fell in love with bodybuilding after high school. But during high school, I was one of those fucking idiots that hung out on the corner and drank beer and smoked weed and chased girls and got into fights. I was one of those morons, right? I really wish I would have. And I always said that I was physically built to wrestle. I think I would have been a good wrestler because I'm 5'8". I have a lot of muscle, but at the same time, I was light. So I could have always gone into a lighter weight division. In high school, when I was a freshman, I was 130 pounds. And then from freshman year all the way up to senior year, I went from 130 to 170. And that was my walking around weight. And everybody would say, high school is when I started working out in the house, and the kids in high school would be like, man, you should join wrestling. You should join football. You should do this. You should do that. And I'd be like, nah, I don't want to do that shit. I now know that was a huge mistake on my part, but I think I probably have the best results. I wasn't big enough for football. Certainly wasn't tall enough for basketball. Um, Baseball was way too boring for me. I think I probably would have had my best chance at wrestling. That probably would have been my best bet. Okay. Now, do you think bodybuilding should be an Olympic sport? No, I do not think bodybuilding should be an Olympic sport. Because first of all, I mean, bodybuilding should not be an Olympic sport. Bodybuilding will and always will be a niche, trendy sport, if you will, for lack of a better term. It's a very small world, okay? But it's a niche sport. It's something not everybody likes. It has a big audience now that it's on a world stage, but compared to like the NFL or soccer or the NBA, or it's just not even close. And then you get into the controversy of anabolic steroids, right? There would be like bodybuilding is like the only sport, if you will, for lack of a better term, that like doesn't frown upon using anabolic steroids, and it's out in the open. Yeah, we use it and we don't care, and it makes the sport better because everybody wants to watch the freaks. And that would be a problem in the Olympics. And I'm not saying that the Olympic athletes don't use performance enhancement drugs. I'm sure that they do. It's probably very secretive, or they do it in ways in which they can hide it, or whatever the case may be, right? Because there's a lot of speculation and there's a lot of questions that go into the Olympics when it comes to things like that. But no, I don't think it should be an Olympic sport. I don't think I don't think bodybuilding should be an Olympic sport. I don't think powerlifting should be an Olympic sport. And I certainly don't think strongman should be an Olympic sport. I like where it is. I like that it's a niche market. I like that we could live stream it and watch it. But I don't think it's something that everybody would accept on a world stage. I just don't think so. Same thing with arm wrestling, you know. Excuse me, I'm thirsty. Okay. Anyway, next question from Fran is the man. Which past guest would you most want to have back on your podcast to interview again? Well, I'm assuming you mean this podcast because I have another podcast called Serious and Silliness Outcasts, which is my original channel. I have interviewed incredible people on that channel, but this one is strictly bodybuilding. So if we're talking about this one that is strictly bodybuilding, I wish I could have Jay Cutler back on because what happened was I interviewed Jay Cutler on my old channel, which was not a bodybuilding channel, and it didn't get enough views because the people that had subscribed to that channel were not interested in bodybuilding. If I could have him back now, I think it would be tenfold the views, right? But that being said, he was on. You can watch it on this channel because what I did was when I started this channel, I took all the major bodybuilding interviews and I put it on this channel. So there is a Jay Cutler interview. Go to the very beginning. Matter of fact, I will put it in this link in the links where you could watch Jay Cutler and me talk about it. Now, I will warn you, the first half of the interview was about his financial success and his investments and how he became so wealthy through bodybuilding. The second half of the interview was about his bodybuilding career. But I kind of felt like everybody knew his bodybuilding career and so on and so forth. And it was the same questions over and over. I was very much interested in how he became so financially successful. So that's the first half. But I'll put it in the description so you can just click and go, okay? Now, next question from Fran is the man. Have you ever been mistaken for a pro bodybuilder or celebrity in real life? Pro bodybuilder, no. Vin Diesel, 8 times a week, constantly. Vin Diesel. That's not as much as it used to be. When Vin Diesel was in his prime, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was every day. It was every day. But now that he's not like the Hollywood superstar anymore. I still get it from time to time, but not Vin Diesel all the time, just constantly. It's ridiculous. Okay. And next question from Fran is the man. Is NeckZilla the biggest disappointment in bodybuilding? As of today, in his short career, yes. But there have been bigger disappointments in their longer span of career. Okay, there have been people that you looked at that we have seen and been like, this guy can go far, and he just doesn't. And that annoys the hell out of me when it comes to bodybuilders. When you have the genetics, when you have bodybuilding, and you don't take it to the finish line, you don't put the work in. God gave you this muscle, he gave you this frame, he gave you this package that you're meant to be a bodybuilder, but you decide, I just don't want to put the work in. To me, that is the worst type of bodybuilding, okay? And we've seen this. We've seen this with other bodybuilders before, and this happens to be true. And as a matter of fact, we've also seen the opposite, where somebody has decent genetics, and through their hard work, they've pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, pushed it, pushed it, and it became somewhat of an elite level bodybuilder. I mean, I could Branch Warren, Johnny Jackson, Dorian Yates, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, they're better genetics than we have, but these were not genetics that was supposed to be elite level, top 1 and 2 in the world pros, and they brought it there through their hard work. Okay. So when you see somebody that has the potential, that has the God-given tools, and then you just shit on it, it's kind of like that scene in Rocky where Stallone goes to Mickey. Rocky goes to Mickey and says, why do you always treat me like this? And he goes, I'm going to tell you why. He goes, tell me. He goes, because you have the talent to be a good fighter, and instead you fight like a damn ape, and you became a 2-bit collector for a loan shark. That's what he tells them. It's the same thing with bodybuilding. I've seen guys that you look at and you go, wow. And it's a minute. Now, here's my problem with NeckZilla. Okay. He pulled out of 3 shows this year. He turned pro last year. He did a show immediately after. I believe it was the Prague Pro. He turned down 3. She pulled out rather 3 shows this year. One of which is invite only. One of the biggest, probably number 2, right behind the Olympia, the Arnold Classic Ohio. He was invited to that. He was going to do it, and he pulled out. 2 more shows came around. He was supposed to do, and then he pulled out. And then he does this show, the Dubai Pro, and he does not come in shape. That's my problem. And now today they're saying he was sick. He had a sinus infection. He didn't feel good. Yeah, cry me a river, man. All right. So you can't shit on me. You can't blame me for just call out suspicions of this guy's work ethic when you pull out of 3 shows and you don't come in shape for show number 4 and then blame it on being sick. The only thing I could say is prove me wrong, NeckZilla, Rubiel, Mascara, prove me wrong. Go into the next show, become peeled, win, and I'll take it back. But until then, man, don't look at me like I'm the culprit, like I'm the bad guy, okay? You gave all the red flags. You gave all of the red flags, and then you want everybody to feel bad for you. Like, oh, he was sick. He had a runny nose. Didn't look like he had a runny nose. Didn't look like he had excited when he was dancing all over the stage, right? He was dancing like crazy all over the stage. And then, oh, he was sick. Ah, bullshit, man. That's my problem with Rubiel Mascara, aka NeckZilla. All right, that does it for Anabolic Academy. That was short but entertaining, I must say. Now, like, share, subscribe. But before we go, I just want to show you this, okay? Quickly. EQNO, I've showed you this guy before. You could buy peptides for research purposes only, semaglutide, retatrutide, and tirzepatide. It's very inexpensive, and you get 10% off if you use discount code John, John. So check it out. So if it's $129, that actually costs you $116. But until next time, Anabolic Academy, serious and silliness bodybuilding. Later. Peace.